Welcome back to our second game of April Heroes 2017.
And here we are in the second game between Outrageous and Cardbark.
Right now, starting, and we'll see if there's gonna see some early game action. Last game we did see an early invade by the Outrageous team, and we did manage to get a first blood very early. Looks like we're again moving all together.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, and it looks like Team Outrageous is going for the invade again. Will they run into the bot lane? It's close. Oh,
Yeah,
they
and bot
might
lane is
blind
coming
check.
actually. Let's see if they actually do it. And
And it's gonna be and Ezreal is done.
Ezreal is gonna give a first blood again.
First
Oh,
blood.
and the Kled in the top lane. That is going to make a difference. And he has time to go back and purchase.
Yeah, very early first blood coming in again in the second game. Different strategy. First time we went through mid. Now we decide to go on the side lane and do get that first blood gold.
That's going to be a long sword and an extra health pot. That is a pretty massive advantage to walk into lane with. Yasuo will not be happy laning against that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a bit harder for Yasuo trying to defend against this Kled.
Yes, and so yeah, we have the Brand Ezreal bot lane going against Lucian Lulu. Lucian Lulu I think have pretty good poke. So do Brand and Ezreal. Damage definitely on the side of Brand and Ezreal, but Lulu adds a lot of survivability. So it'll be interesting to see how the lane plays out.
Yeah, both junglers do start on their blue camp.
Yeah, and so that gives Kled a chance to set up the lane the way he wants it. Maybe rush for that level 2 and get the wave pushing back to him early.
Yeah, he will be stronger than Yasuo, so we'll see how that top lane matchup will go.
Yeah, and it looks like it's a pretty normal start everywhere else. Kassadin looks like he's setting his pressure early on, asserting dominance in the lane. And the level 2 rush in the bot lane, and he gets a nice stun there by Anivia.
Anivia actually didn't reach level 2, but she still manages to stun Kassadin because Kassadin is already level 2.
Yeah, I guess he's just focused on shoving that wave in, and so now the focus has to be on farm for Anivia.
Yeah, and I
And
see
the level 2 Lucian
that'll do
engage.
straight in engage
That
on this
is
Bard.
massive damage on the
Yeah,
the Brand.
half of the health gone.
But he does have a lot of health pots, so he will be just fine, I think. But definitely loss of health advantage there.
Another stun by Anivia on Kassadin, trading damage.
Damage
each
is
other.
pretty equal return.
Finally, the blue team does reach level 2. They try to
Oh
stun, they
my
try to engage, and
goodness.
Lucian is actually going down.
And
Has
he
to
burns
burn
heal.
and exhaust burn from both teams as well. And
And the damage is just
the
massive.
Vi
from
is here
Brand.
actually, and Vi flashes
and
in
then
on.
she gets the kill and the flash, and she's going in for
Yeah,
the Lulu.
this is going to be a double kill.
Another kill for Lulu. Oh, does
Lulu
she
has to
survive?
Do they have the damage? One more hit would do
Oh,
it.
and
Yes.
Vi gets it. Double kill for Vi. An excellent gank. I don't think they were ready for that at all.
A Master Killer Teemo really showing up on this Vi right ahead from the start.
Yeah, and we can see that even Yasuo is not phased by the extra health pot. Just see that thing perfectly well. Seems to be really comfortable on this champion, already burning through a lot of the health. This could be a different game. I don't think this will be the same game as last game.
Absolutely. Gragas is actually coming mid, and a gank on
Oh,
Anivia.
Anivia is vulnerable.
She does have her egg form, so she has to flash away. Will
Did
they
she
reach?
get under turret?
Do they have a damage? Actually, they might just be able to kill her, and they.
Oh, and they get it just in time. Oh, if it was just one more step, I think Anivia would have survived that.
She did have the ghost. She could have burned that, and I'm pretty sure she would have escaped. But
Oh, she saved her ghost, so I think that's where the mistake happened. And we can see in the top lane. Oh no, wait! It looks like another fight in the bot
Vi
lane.
again comes
Vi
to
is
this
back.
bot lane.
And I don't think they know. Lucian and them are playing far too aggressive. Lucian and
They are, and Vi maybe will try to go from the other side. Bard is actually quite low, and
I think they're trying to bait it
they
in.
might try to bait it in. Absolutely. Gragas is on top lane also.
Oh, and they go in. Vi comes in, and it's a gank.
Yeah, it is another gang by Vi.
And
Lucian does
is
try
too
to
far
get the brand,
advanced.
but
He couldn't get the kill.
and
And that's Ezreal with another kill. Oh my goodness.
is it
this
going
could
to be another double kill? Lulu tries to get Ezreal, and
Oh,
she
he
does!
gets the return kill.
Amazing.
That was greedy on the Ezreal's part. He did not need to be there. Could have backed out, but he wanted that kill, and he's gonna pay with his life.
Yeah, still does manage to get at least one kill on Lucian.
And it's interesting in the top lane, actually, the health pot advantage is completely evened out. Yasuo
Both use them all their pots for sure. A
Managed
lot
to
of
do
damaging
pretty well.
trading happening.
Yeah, so you can see Yasuo's doing really well because he had a disadvantage, you know, with the early kill. And the CS is just seems to be pretty even across the board.
Pretty even, but although Kazan is already 20 CS ahead of Visanivia.
Bot lane, huge advantage on the side of Ezreal, though. So
Yeah,
I think
so
those
also-
are evening each other out.
Pretty much gold lead a little bit in 100 gold advantage to the blue team, but that's nothing this early in the game.
Yeah, and you can see the Kassadin is going to build survivability with the Rod of the Ages.
Yeah, and look at this Kled
Oh
going
my
in hard
goodness.
on Yasuo and Ignite
Is
used
that
them.
a dead? Oh, first! No, not first, but that is the first solo kill for the top lane.
And this Kled already 2-0 and really good calculation. He knows when he can go in, he just puts in Ignite
Just
and
absolute zero hesitation. I don't think that Yasuo was ready for that.
absolutely. And this Kled is on a good path to become a real big problem for the Card Bark team. Already 2 kills ahead. Damil Hades
And
playing
he's
very
building
good.
full damage. He comes back with a BF sword and 3 health
Yeah,
pots. And
another-
a return gank, the exact same gank. And things just go bad to
There you go.
worse.
Vi did come, but a bit too late. And this Anivia already 2 deaths.
And just like that, it's a 1,000 gold lead. And even with the deaths, Lucian is just right there equal in CS.
Yeah, and Lucian is stunned, but do they
The
have the
brand
damage?
damage is massive, massive.
Yeah, and they do have to disengage. Lucian does lose a lot of health, and that's what I'm talking. Brand is pretty strong early game, and
His damage is absolutely tremendous. And that's really
Kled
making
does
him-
use his
Kled
ult
comes in with
and
the ult.
he will go on Yasuo again.
That's a BF sword, Kled. You
Yeah,
cannot.
so much damage coming
Oh
in.
my goodness, that's a huge wave that's gonna potentially be pushed in, maybe. But
Yeah,
Yasuo, but he does
another
have
fight happening bottom lane,
my
and
goodness.
Lula is going very low. They have to
They
burn,
burn heal. They get the exhaust. Oh, he misses the Q.
Oh, and
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Lucian does get brand, and Ezreal's gonna go down. Kazan is also here. He's
Oh, it's a double kill. Just the few differences there. The brand missed the W instead of going on the Lulu, went for the Lucian. Ezreal
Really
missed his Q. Just those differences, and then of course the double kill. Kassadin didn't even need to be there for it.
and
Very strategic trade happened in the bot lane.
Yeah, no.
yeah, and
definitely.
there's some fighting in the jungle happening actually. Gragas level 6 while Y is still level 5.
Absolutely. If all your lanes are winning like that, what do? You go and push the other jungler around in his jungle.
Yeah, and still this Kled getting so big so early, it's gonna be very hard for this Yasuo to have any farm soon. It's already 20 CS lead for this
Being
Kled.
this far behind.
And there's a fight happening bottom lane actually. The whole team, Lucian is very low,
Lucian is going
and he goes down.
gets smited and by the Vi. So Vi really knows to camp bot. This is the lane.
Yeah, but looks like we're gonna have another fight in the jungle. Vi actually gets spotted out by Gragas
And
and
gets
Lulu.
pushed away from her own red buff, and the team can't help out because they're just getting pushed in.
Has disconnected.
And we have
And
another.
Vi has disconnected, so maybe there were some slight connection issues there.
Hopefully they can solve it fast. And this game is kind of getting out of control.
Very,
Kled
very
getting very
quickly.
ahead. The blue jungle is controlled by Gragas.
And the thing is, you go with these high-risk champions like Yasuo, you pretty much have to have a good laning phase, because with a champion like Yasuo, if you're not building the damage, you're useless. You're not tanking, you don't have the CC, there's really no other way you can help out your team. And you know, if he goes against the Kassadin, it's going to be the same story. That 68 CS is massive, massive over the Yasuo. The experience, the levels, it's just going to be tremendous. And hopefully we get back into the game soon, but
Yes, soon enough. Again, also CS differential. Look at this mid lane. It's a 40 CS lead already.
40 CS lead from the Kassadin. Yeah, and it looks like there's CS leads all across. Even Lucian, despite the early camp, is ahead in CS.
Yeah, and also
And I just have to mention this because I've just seen it. The 2-tier start. So tiers mean that you're gonna have a weaker mid game. It's essentially saying we don't want to fight, we want to farm, we don't want to do too much for another 15-20 minutes. This
Yeah.
game is not going to allow for that to happen, and I think that is a crucial mistake because you know you have to adjust to based on how the game is being played. You have to adjust your picks. You know the other team's really strong in the laning phase. You know you need to establish some early pressure on. You can't come into the game and build these slower ramp up, because even if you do decently well very, very early, like you saw with the early kills, when you're building tier, you're not going to have that snowball effect. You're going to be slowed down, and the other team is that aggressive and that dominant. They're not going to allow that.
Yeah, absolutely. And they do have 2 tiers on the Card Bark team. It's quite difficult strategy because we're gonna have to wait until those both tiers are stacked to really reach that power potential.
I think these are good builds, but they're not adjusted to the game. They're not adjusted to the team, and I think I see this is the difference, that a lot of teams don't make these adjustments to the team play, to the tournament realm.
Yeah.
These are from solo queue, and while they are good builds, you should adjust it to the situation.
Absolutely. We're trying to reach out to the player, see if everything is fine, and hopefully we'll be back in the game shortly.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to wait and see what the issue is. We're hoping it's a small internet. Most likely he's probably has to restart his computer.
Yeah, and finally...
And we see that he has reconnected, so it was most likely a restart of the computer just to make sure
the connection is stable and ready to go. And actually this fight doing pretty good so far.
3-0-2. So the jungler is actually doing a really good job and going to the right lanes. You know your bot lane has pressure. Put the pressure there, take advantage, and just doing work all around.
Yeah, we'll see if this Vi will be able to maybe push back.
But you see, here's the thing now. The Vi has built full damage.
Yeah, but Vi does have to build damage. He did get ahead from the team, so if he decide to go no damage because Anivia is behind and Yasuo is behind, we're gonna have very little damage.
Yeah, no, I think they're certainly back in the corner, and I think Vi is back, but now Yasuo is just disconnected.
And now we have another disconnection problem, and we'll try to solve that also as soon as possible. So unfortunately, yes, online tournaments are like this. Sometimes we get technical issues, and
yeah, absolutely.
Who doesn't? Even LCS does get technical issues from time to time.
There's just nothing you can do but hope that the teams can resolve the issues. Maybe they were probably in the same place. Internet connections happened both of them at once, and so if Vi's back, then hopefully we're expecting.
Yeah. By the way, also interesting, very interesting thing that the first Drake is Infernal. Maybe we'll see team focus on that.
See, I don't think the Infernal is even going to be an issue because the way if
and
I'm
the game is restarting right now, and
okay,
we're going to
get right back into it. And it looks like the players are back.
Yeah, and
we're going to continue.
Vi actually wants to go onto this. Yeah, but the whole team is there. Actually, it's pretty dangerous.
There. You can, and they have the ward there. They have full vision.
But there's 4 members against 3, so still decide to disengage. Nice wind wall by Yasuo to block that, to block Kled.
Yeah, and so they will get the red buff for Team Bark in the bot lane. And Anivia misses the CS. Oh, Vi comes in for the gank, but he's a slippery.
Are we gonna go in? Vi does have level 6. Decides not to go in because Casson can escape pretty easily.
He's got the survivability with the crystal, and being a Casson, he's a pretty hard champion to gank, and he has flash.
Yeah, and Dragon was pinged a few times. Brand just drops a ward there.
I don't know if they have the pressure to get it, but they certainly want to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Gragas and Vi is bought some lane, and Vi does actually start the Dragon. I don't think that Outrageous will see that this Dragon is being taken.
I don't think they have the vision. I think she might just be able to solo it.
Gragas might see her if he doesn't decide to go.
I think he's focusing on the bot lane gank.
Yeah, he's focusing on bot lane gank, and Ezreal's gonna be spotted by Bran. Bran is like all left alone, and
Bran is gonna have to die for this.
Probably they do get the Dragon though. Ezreal ult coming in, but they can't do much.
The ult was the right decision, but
well, it's a Dragon for a 1-kill trade for support kill. Maybe it's actually worth it for long term.
And it was an Infernal, so it could definitely be
another fight might be happening top lane, and
that was
again Kled.
Kled just dives in with his ultimate, gets another kill. So Yasuo did pretty good in terms of CS
but
holding
at this
in,
point,
but I just getting bad to worse, and it's just
I think they have to maybe switch lanes or do something good, because
I don't think you can leave him up there with the Kled, but the question is, so it does appear to be connection issues.
Yeah, it appears to be a
So I think Timo and Yasuo, oh sorry, not Timo, Vi and Yasuo are in the same position because they both disconnected at the same time. So most likely it's just some local issues they're having.
Might be, and unfortunately, yes, it happens from time to time.
Might need to restart the router actually is for
So
me.
sometimes you do.
I mean that helps for me a lot, so maybe that's the course of action here.
Yeah, we'll have to see what's gonna happening. We're trying to reconnect right now. Hopefully the game will be started soon enough. We actually didn't have any issues in the first game. It's strange about the second game.
Yeah, no.
We're having some of those issues.
And that can be really frustrating because, you know, it has been fine. There haven't been any
Yeah.
issues, and all of a sudden in the middle of a game, I'm sure they're just as frustrated as anybody else would be in that
Yeah,
situation.
absolutely. Yeah.
So my question is, what do you do now? You see the Kled, he's got a BF sword, 74 CS, 4 kills. Who do you send up there? What can you send up there?
I don't think
Do
you can
switch lanes?
send up anything. I think we're gonna have to give up that top tower, and I know Yasuo is getting very behind in this game. Maybe just try to soak XP and play extra safe.
See, yeah, he built that chain
But
vest early.
Kled is already able to dive turrets and kill the Yasuo. So
Yeah, the chain vest is not helping, and it's just delaying his build. And I mean, if this continues, Kled is just gonna rampage through. I mean, and you can't send Vi up there. It might just be a double kill. He's so fed. I think what you do.
actually, Vi is pretty strong right now. Maybe they could bait Kled in and try to get a return.
If
kill.
Gragas comes, it could be tricky. I think what you do in this scenario is you just switch the Ezreal and the Brand.
Yeah, and
you
we're
send
back in
them
the
top.
game.
I think that's the only option here because Kled is pretty unstoppable right now.
Yeah, and,
Oh, and they're gonna
a
go
gank
for it.
by Vi on this Kassadin, and Kassadin going very low.
Oh, and he's
Kassadin does
gonna turn.
re-engage, but there's a net form, so they cannot do much, and Kassadin one more hit would do it, but
Oh
here
my
is Gragas to
goodness,
this rescue,
survives.
and
Kled gets the turret, but Kassadin will survive just a sliver of HP.
yes, Gragas coming right on the perfect time to save his teammate.
Yeah, and it looks like so that lane, mid lane is, my goodness, that's a 50 CS advantage for Kassadin at 11 minutes. That is
pretty
just,
big lead, and Kled is actually now
yeah. So
invading.
Kled is ganking mid now. He's just
Yeah,
exerting
and
his
Vi is
pressure.
pretty low. Do they want to fight? Seems like no, they decided to disengage.
He's just going to be pressuring all across the top side, and now bot lane is going to be pretty isolated because Vi can no longer ignore top and mid. Couldn't push the advantage in bot lane hard enough, and so now
Yeah,
the consequences are going to come in on the top and mid.
yeah, and Lucian getting 10 CS ahead of
And
this.
but you look at these builds, you look at the chain vest, you look at the Negatron cloak. These defensive items are just delaying the damage. It's just
But they do want to delay it. Remember, both have tiers, right? So they are looking for probably mid and late game. So
it's just being stuck in a rock and a hard place because really, what can you do? I mean, you want that survivability, you need it. It's a Rod of the Ages Kassadin, but you know that it's delaying your damage items. So
yeah, we'll see if that decision will actually benefit them. We'll only know in late game. And Kassadin is actually roaming bottom. We might see a
Kassadin
tier dive.
He's coming. He's bringing his advantage in the
Yeah.
ball lane. That's exactly what you want to do as a mid lane.
Brand is very
You
low.
get the lead, you pressure the
Brand
side
is
lanes.
quite low, and I think Anivia is also. And we're gonna probably see a fight in the jungle. Anivia does decide to disengage. She's actually one level behind Kassadin. Kassadin is level 9,
so
the highest
I
in
think
the
he
game.
saw that the minions were pushed out, and so he didn't, continue with that.
Yeah, and Vi is actually trying to camp Yasuo to protect against this Kled, and
Yeah, see, I don't know what you can do because Kled is just gonna draw this pressure, isolate the bot lane, and it just opens up so many options for Team Outrageous.
yeah, absolutely. Already 12 minutes into the game, we have 15 kills across the whole board, and Kled is actually roaming mid, and we're gonna go all in on this Anivia. They even dive the turret.
The dive to the
Anivia has to
second
flash
turret.
away, but here's Kassadin. He goes all in, but is afraid of a turret and has to disengage. Vi does miss jump over a wall. Same
Oh, in the
time,
bot lane,
a lot of fights happening all over the
and
place.
Yasuo comes in, but it's not enough, and they're just gonna lose mid and bot lane, and this is what happens because
Yeah, 2 fights happening. Two members dead from.
it's just they're gonna get pushed in now because, I mean, and there's really no options. I mean, what can you do? You don't have the damage. You definitely don't have the survivability.
Yeah, and a nice flash by
Nice
Ezreal
flash
to
by Ezreal. That was a
escape.
nice touch. I like that.
Yeah, but Ezreal doesn't have mana, so he cannot do much. He probably has to disengage.
But see, they're low, so will they turret dive? I don't know if they can.
They can, because look, Ezreal has no mana. He only has his auto attack.
He does have his heal, and he's gonna have to. Yeah, he's gonna go back away, leave the turret, and that will be the bot lane turret.
Yeah, going to outrage us team.
And what started out so promisingly is now turning into quite the
yeah, look at this Kled, 5-0, already finished his first item and well on his way to finish his second item, while Yasuo is still finishing his first item.
That is just not what you want to go up against. That's a ninja tabby, means Yasuo, what little damage he has is going to be pretty much 0. He's going to have the Tiamat and the Duskblade. That is huge damage coming in from Kled. I think he could pretty much one-shot, I would say, anyone on the other team.
Like, we really have to be careful, maybe focus more on vision and try to set up ambushes or something to get this Kled, because this Kled
I think at this point, if your team outrageous, just pick a turret and go for it completely. I mean, if Kled dives in with Kassadin, I mean, and Gragas, you're done. The damage and the CC and the knockaway is just so much.
Yeah, and we see maybe another gank on Yasuo. Yasuo is pretty far ahead, and Kled is right here on the corner.
I think
he is spotted,
yeah,
and yes, it is going to be a fight happening. They do manage to move. And Kled, so much damage coming in. It's crazy. Another fight is happening bottom lane, and Ezreal goes down.
And it looks like it's going to be another kill.
And it's going to be a double kill. Not enough damage. Lucian gets his one, and 3 members down again. 2 fights happening at the same time. And,
yeah. So I mean, what really can you do? I don't see any really options for them. There's really no pick potential.
Yeah, we did fall behind from early game already. 9,000 gold lead, a pretty big lead at 15 minutes.
9,000 gold lead is, I don't want to say insurmountable, but
we might see a fight actually. Yasuo is teleporting bottom lane. Flashes in on Lulu. Are we gonna get that 1 kill?
And they do get a kill, so that's one way.
They're still chasing, but Kassadin is actually also flanking them. So
and he can move
we'll see if
so they know he's there. They want to get the
Vi
kill.
does go in on Lucian. Lucian goes very low, but can he actually finish it?
And see, he doesn't have the damage.
Not enough damage, but they do manage to get down. Another
kill.
fight is actually happening. Kled is destroying people. Ezreal is also down, and
2v1. That's Kled going 2v1.
And a lot of members going down. Only Anivia surviving, and this
goodness.
Kled is gonna start on the inhibitor turret.
And Kled is getting the inhibitor by himself. He's 8-0-0.
This Kled really just took control of this whole game.
And I mean, it's like you leave a Kled alone like that, and he just
yeah, look,
over.
and inhibitor turret down at 16 minutes. And they're probably gonna go for this inhibitor. Anivia is trying to fight off Kassadin. The team has respawned, and they might go in this Kled. They are 3 against 1. Brand does get, and the Kled wants to go in. Look at this damage! He doesn't manage to get, and the Kled is actually going low. Are we going to kill?
So much work there.
And a shutdown on Kled actually does not manage 1v3 and goes down.
1v3 after 1v2 after getting an inhibitor turret. That Kled is a monster.
It is. It does.
And look at his build now. Sterix on top of that, Health Crystal, throwing all that survivability.
And look, another Infernal Drake. This time it's most likely to go to Team Outrage us. 2 Infernal Drakes spawning this
I
game.
think that's game. I mean, 10k gold lead at 17 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. This is pretty substantial. Ezreal does
I think substantial is an understatement.
Yeah, right now.
Extreme proportions, because you look at this. I mean, I think it's just. They did some great work early.
Yeah, they
Props
do
to
have
them for that. They just couldn't continue to apply the pressure that way. I think what we saw was the class coming through on the side of Team Outrageous.
Yeah, and the only thing now, it's so early in the game, like they're so behind in gold that they must just try to avoid any possible fights, run away, just try to get as much farm as possible and prolong the game, because right now if fight, they're instantly dead. And look, this guy goes in on Brand, and Brand is very behind. He's
pretty much with impunity. Just 2 people diving in, 4 people, doesn't matter.
Yeah, and we might see a fight actually. Flash engage on Brandon. He will go down.
Yeah, and that's just Gragas diving in. Doesn't need vision, doesn't need anything. He just goes in because his team is so far ahead.
It is going to be this mid turret focus. Are we gonna stay? Because they're very behind, and a nice ult by Gragas. Unfortunately, does not block
away from that turret. They're gonna get it.
Yeah. Turret's just going down. all members are in this mid lane. Kled is also here. We might just do a huge push on the mid lane.
Yeah, and you see Kled finished 2 items and his boots, level 2 boots, at 18 minutes. 131 CS. I mean, Yasuo did some nice job despite the deaths to keep hanging there with CS, but
yeah, but look at this mid lane.
and it's an 18-minute flame horizon from Kassadin on Olivia. 100 CS lead at 18 minutes. That is insane. There's just, I think the difference is too much at the end of the day, the skill level. You know, laning phase with teams like this, you know, you see it in LCS when, or in pro play against Korean teams that when the difference is that much, you can't build late, you can't build favorites, you just have to pick the strongest early and hope you surprise them with the early game and make it strong enough that maybe you can do something later. You can't go standard against these quality teams because if they're that much better, you're not going to get the chance to win.
Yeah, and look, they might go and collect. He's again alone. Exhaust use a very nice summoner spell, and
he's 1v3.
He's going 1v3. Can he make it? Actually, Yasuo was going pretty low, but it looks like Kled is just gonna go down.
And that's 5 people sent in against Kled.
If they want to win this game, they have to find picks like that.
I mean, no, there's no way. I really, there's no way. I mean, the team I think is just messing around right now because even despite that, they didn't have the pressure and they're still gonna get this turret.
Yeah, they do actually trade Kled for the bottom turret.
I think at this point you just get Baron and close out the game. Or
yeah, Baron is actually spawning right now. We're reaching that 20-minute mark.
I think I would take the lesson away from this game for Team BRK is that if you see a team of this kind of quality.
Oh, and Ezreal is actually stuck in mid lane and does get picked up by Outrageous team.
Yeah, so what I was saying was, and yeah, it looks like they're just gonna push in for this turret. You pick your strongest early game and you try to win as much as you can there. That's really the only way I think you
sometimes strategies don't work out and it happens, and we look like this Outrageous might be focusing on Baron. They do get a Scuttle Crab.
Yeah,
and
so
yes, they are going for Baron. I don't think
I think it's the correct decision.
Chance.
I think you just take the Baron and then you go and end the game. If they come, you fight them, you ace them, and then you take the game. And they don't have vision, so they can't go in blind.
Yeah, I don't think we're even try to contest this one. We literally can. Ezreal does try to show, but it's a bit miss on the Baron. And it is going a Baron for Outrageous team. They're probably gonna reset at base and just push this top side or mid lane. Remember, inhibitor is open on top side.
Yeah, no, I think you send Kled top, he's got teleport, he's got the huge lead. You send the rest of your team mid, maybe one person bot, maybe the Kassadin bot because he does have teleport. And just all 3 lanes you push in. I mean, there's no response that the other team has, or you can just go all mid and end it that way. The lead is so far that there's so many different options to end.
Yeah, 13,000 gold lead, like coming back from this would be a miracle.
And I think at this point you see what these teams, if you want to see how to close it out when you have a good lead, because I know in my elo, like, you know, when you're lower, when you're in low silver and bronze, and even these big leads, teams throw them away because they don't close them out properly.
Comebacks always happen, and
but you can see what's happening here, the way they're closing it out. They're getting Baron, they're getting their items, and they're pushing in all 3 lanes.
Yeah, they're actually trying to close it from all 3 lanes.
And so they just know how to close better. I mean, I don't see how a comeback happens.
Yeah, but look, this is a re-engage, but so much damage from Kassadin, and the Vi just goes down.
Yeah.
This Kassadin also 4-0, very far ahead. He has 13 stacks.
13 stacks, 10 stack Rod of the Ages, Lich Bait.
Yeah, and look at this engage in mid lane. Ezreal is gonna go down. Kled is actually destroying the whole team.
And that is an ace.
And I think we're gonna have a game only Yasuo alive. 30-second death timers. I don't think they're gonna do much.
Just end the game. Just
it looks like they will focus though mid and in top inhibitor. Maybe take both inhibitors. The members will respond though.
Just go top and end the game. There's no way you can defend this.
10-second timers on most of the members. First, Nexus turret is going very low. I think we're gonna take it. And again, Yasuo's trying to fight, but he doesn't have much damage. Meanwhile, Vi does manage to
survive.
Yeah, and look at those melting bars on Brand. It's so much. Ezreal almost dying. Vi is still alive. Did manage to get Lucian in the back. Second Nexus Spirit is also to go down, and a nice flash in by Gragas.
Looks like that is gonna be pretty much the game.
Yeah, and the Outrageous team do
pushing
win
in the Nexus
this.
turrets.
Yeah, they will manage to win. They are the first finalists and will face either Team Asian Salad or to be determined team in the finals. And Nice
So
showing, a strong
congratulations.
showing from
Good
Outrage
performance
team.
from Team BRK. They did some nice early stuff. Unfortunately, couldn't win, and we have our first finalist. They will be going to win the final as soon as the second game ends.